Right now at 6, getting support from those who understand. Area veterans are being helped by peer support groups at the Tomah VA.
And a warning about an internet challenge. Doctors say do not cook with cough medicine.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Amy DuPont.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. It is estimated that 30% of Vietnam veterans have had PTSD in their lifetime.
News 8 Now's Rob Romano spoke with a Vietnam vet about mental health and a peer support group that is helping local vets cope.
Good evening, Amy and Ken. The Vietnam veteran I spoke with, Alice Holstein, worked as a peer support specialist with the VA for 9 years. This after conquering her own demons.
Very often the professionals don't get it.
Vietnam veteran Alice Holstein, the first woman sent overseas with bombers for Vietnam operations in the 1960s, suggested that mental health professionals don't always fully comprehend the severity of the mental health issues that veterans deal with.
Finding this job was like a second chance in life.
Holstein worked as a peer support specialist at the VA from 2008 to 2017. This after overcoming her own struggle with bipolar mood disorder, which has also been called manic depression.
Having to suffer scrapes away what isn't important in life and gets you to the core.
She says her journey to helping others came to be after doctors said her issue couldn't be fixed.
I got mad and said I was going to be mad. I was going to be as well as I could be. And that intention set me on a path that was not pre-planned, but ended up being doors opening because I had the intention.
Holstein recently wrote a book called Tough Grace, Mental Illness as a Spiritual Path, which includes 50 different things she did to get well.
The types of gifts that came to me as a result of the suffering. So that has made me a compassionate, larger person, I think, with much more wisdom to share.
And with regard to veterans sharing wisdom, the Tomah VA Medical Center offers a variety of peer support groups for veterans in our area. A recovery coordinator says that when veterans have success in peer support services, it often translates to more success in psychotherapy.
It can make psychotherapy or other services more effective, can help them find some clarity, but also really that hope component, right? Belief that recovery is possible.
And I'm told that for a veteran to access peer support services, they can inform any treatment provider at the VA or give them a call at the number, let me give you that number, that's 608-372-3971. Guys.
All right, and we're of course going to put that number. There it is. It'll also be on news8000.com. Assistance for veterans has been a priority at the federal level.
That's right. Last month, President Biden signed the PACT Act into law, which expands health care and benefits for veterans who are exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances.
September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. UWL hosted a suicide prevention summit today, and everyone from teachers to paramedics learned about prevention tools available at work or at home.
As the mental health crisis grows worse, folks say suicide prevention should be as normalized as knowing CPR. The summit's guest speaker is clinical psychologist Sally Spencer-Thomas, who has seen the impact of suicide firsthand.
The people who actually have lived through it, suicide loss, suicide attempts, suicidal thoughts, they actually have a lot to say about what can be done to prevent this from happening.
And Spencer-Thomas is going to speak again at Viterbo University tonight at 7. That event is free and open to the public.
All right, let's switch gears and send it over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl for a look at your fall-like forecast.
Yeah, lots of sunshine today, but highs only in the lower to middle 60s. So definitely a fall-like day, and Mother Nature is playing right along because today does mark the autumnal equinox. In fact, if you're keeping tabs, it starts in about 2 hours with the official start of astronomical fall. Of course, meteorological fall started on September 1st. Autumnal equinox, that means the sun, the rays directly over the equator, so about equal length of day and night, about 12 hours apiece. But of course, in the northern hemisphere here, we're going to start losing minutes each day as we head towards those colder winter months. Now today, again, lots of sunshine, but highs between about 61 and 65 degrees. I can actually update that 65 to a 67 officially out at the La Crosse Airport. Just a few clouds, but some sunshine this evening as well. Thicker clouds farther to our west, and that's where there are some rain showers over the northern plains. And that's the system that will impact us for tomorrow afternoon and night with a chance for some rain showers locally. Current temperatures upper 50s to lower 60s, and it's going to be chilly tonight. Lows in the La Crosse around 44, but chillier to the north and east where some frost is possible. So I do have tonight an alert night, if you will, because some of you are under a frost advisory. And I will detail that with my 8-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks very much, Bill.
A Wisconsin Department of Justice agent faces charges after shooting an unarmed man during a traffic stop. The Dane County District Attorney charged Mark Wagner with second-degree reckless endangerment using a dangerous weapon.
Wagner shot Quadrin Wilson on February 3rd in Madison. Wagner was in court this morning before the DOJ announced the charges. He is free on a $500 signature bond. Well, a collaboration for the greater good. Gunderson Health System and Green Bay-based Bellin Health are merging. Now, it's been in talks for a few months at least, but the two health systems are set to officially merge by the end of the year. Even though Bellin is far from the La Crosse area, Bellin's CEO says that they are prioritizing keeping services local.
We have structured this in a way to really preserve our ability to make decisions locally that are in the best interest of the people in the regions that we serve.
And she says the process has been smooth, though they still have work to do. Gunderson and Bellin have not decided on a name for the merger.
According to national polls, a growing number of Americans are reporting high levels of anxiety and depression. So doctors want more people to recognize the signs early. The U.S. Preventative Task Force hopes to screen people under 65 for depression and anxiety, even if they don't have symptoms. The organization says in 2020, 1 in 5 U.S. adults experienced mental illness, but less than half got treatment. Doctors at Mayo Clinic Health System believe early screenings might help some adults realize they need help and even normalize the treatment process.
There's so much stigma about mental health disorders. Depression and anxiety are not something that people oftentimes feel comfortable talking about. And so they may be unwilling to bring it up without prompting.
The National Task Force is taking public comments. You're going to find a link at news8000.com.
Well, health experts are warning parents about a new internet challenge that could lead to an overdose. There is a trend involving cooking food with over-the-counter cough medicine. Heating up medicines like that can make medication more potent. And health experts at Gunderson Health System say eating things cooked with medication is dangerous.
It is extremely foolish to cook food in medicine and expect that to do anything other than expose you to danger and risk.
Doctors also say that parents need to be aware of their child's social media activities and talk to their kids about what could happen if they misuse medication.
Still ahead, he spent 41 years locked up after being wrongfully convicted.
Gary Tyler says he wouldn't change a thing about his experience.
They're destroying America and our livelihoods. Now, DC elites are spending big on Brad Paff. The same Beltway bigwigs who wasted taxpayer money that bailed out elite golf courses and luxury hotels are now bankrolling Brad Paff's campaign because Brad Paff supported their big spending, price-hiking, reckless schemes. And that's why we can't send him to Washington. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Prices are going up on groceries, they're going up at the gas station. The only ones profiting are oil companies, big corporations, China, and Ron Johnson. Johnson makes money from investments in factories in China. No wonder Johnson's net worth has doubled since he's been in Washington. Even worse, Johnson's allowed oil and drug companies to jack up prices on us. He takes all that money from them. Ron Johnson profits, we pay the price. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
He spent 41 years in prison after being wrongfully convicted of murder. And still, Gary Tyler says he wouldn't change a thing about his life. Amy sat down with the Louisiana native who was sharing his story and a message he wants everyone to hear.
Ken, it's hard to believe, but Gary Tyler says he is not angry or even bitter, but he is hopeful. Hopeful his story will inspire others to act when they witness injustice and to believe in forgiveness.
You got the strength within you.
When Gary Tyler shares his story, his audience hangs on every word.
Don't let what you did define you for the rest of your life.
The Louisiana native was wrongfully convicted of killing a white classmate and sentenced to death when he was just 17 years old.
People want to know how you survived what happened to you.
His answer, hope.
Never give up. That there's always going to be someone out there that's going to hear your cries. Always going to be someone out there going to come to your support. You got to believe.
Tyler survived 41 years locked up and says even if he could go back in time and live as a free man, he wouldn't.
It was meant for me. I went through my trials and tribulations. I feel that I survived those challenges. And I came out on the good side of things.
Today, the 64-year-old shares his story to encourage people to act when they witness injustice and to forgive others, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness.
We don't need to perpetuate the hurt and anger of the people. We need to do what's right for the people. We need to start forgiving.
Gary Tyler hasn't spoken with the investigators who helped to wrongly convict him since his release. But his message to those men is the same message he shares with everyone.
I'm okay. I love life. I believe that people have goodness in them. I've seen people change and to don't give up on anyone.
And you can hear more of Gary Tyler's story and message tonight. He's going to speak at 7 o'clock on the Viterbo University campus. That event is free and open to the public. And I spent about an hour with Gary. I could have spent 5 hours with Gary.
Yeah.
And I asked him, did you ever come close? You know, did you ever come close to losing hope? Because you can only imagine what it was like.
Yeah.
He said he did, but his mom kept him going. She died 4 years before his release, but he says he believes that she was with him when he walked out of that prison as a free man and that she is still with him today.
That's such a beautiful message, and just the amount of strength in him to go through decades of that. But I know we discussed it at 5, that the people that he was in prison with actually treated him pretty fairly.
At 17, he was the youngest American on death row in the entire nation. And you know, these are the worst of the worst as we see in society. And he said it was because of those men that he survived, that he wasn't beaten, he wasn't murdered, he wasn't sexually assaulted. They took him in, kind of showed him the way around the prison system and kept him safe. And that is one of the reasons why he says no matter what anyone has done, there is good in everyone, and it's our job to find it.
That's what a message of forgiveness as well. All right, that's a great story. Thank you so much. Up next, La Crosse is joining a global effort to reduce emissions.
The city's offer for free rides on this car-free day.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. We do have a frost advisory in play overnight for parts of the area. I'll detail that with my 8-day forecast after the break.
Under Governor Evers, hard-working Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you know we have the products you need to grow a great garden. So right now, save on fall canning and preserving supplies to enjoy your homegrown harvest all year long. Like 12 packs of ball canning jars, just $10.99. 6-piece Norpro canning sets only $9.99. Select Mrs. Wage's canning and pickling mixes are 20% off. Plus, knock out fall projects with assorted Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint, $4.99 each.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now, our community, your station.
A record number of new students started this fall at the UW La Crosse.
The university says 2,308 students are in classes. That's 101 more students than last year's record level. Overall, enrollment held steady. This year's total, 10,302. The university also reported a good retention rate, holding at just over 84% of students returning this fall.
Well, there's a global effort to go green. Today is World Car Free Day.
And cities across the globe are finding ways to encourage motorists to give up their car just for the day. La Crosse's MTU is celebrating as well with free car rides all day. If you want to take today as an opportunity to be more environmentally friendly, take advantage of a free ride or try walking or maybe using a bike to commute for the day if you're a later shifter.
You might have to dress a little bit warmer than you had earlier this week. Bill, I grabbed a coat for the first time this season today on my way to work.
Yeah, even with all that sunshine today, highs only in the lower to middle 60s. In fact, that high of 67 out at the La Crosse airport, the first below average temperature we've had here in La Crosse in 10 days. You have to go back to September 12th. So the above average highs definitely continue to dominate. 14 of the days so far this month have been above average. 6 days with a below average high temperature in 2 days, including yesterday, right at average out at the airport. Currently mostly sunny, just some high clouds scattered about, kind of making for a neat scene in our western sky. Maybe some nice colors with the sunset this evening. 67 and 47 the numbers for today. 73 and 52 are the averages. 95 the record high. Remember that? That was just 5 years ago. 32 the record low set way back in 1974. No rainfall and only 1.20 inches for the month. So that's about an inch and a half below average. And the latest drought monitor released every Thursday. Now I will caution you that the data goes through 7 a.m. Tuesday. So it doesn't count those hefty thunderstorms that produce some heavy downpours in these drier areas. Also some large hail, of course, but abnormally dry conditions over northern sections of the Union area, moderate to severe drought conditions over parts of Buffalo, Pepin, and Dunn counties, and then stretching back up towards the Twin Cities. So we could use a little bit of rainfall again across the region. 62 degrees out at the airport, still 64 downtown here at the station. Very dry air, dew points in the 30s. Winds are calm and the Mississippi dropping 5.07. Eau Claire, sunshine for you, 62 degrees. Winds are calm there as well. And again, very dry air with dew points in the 30s. So we're not alone in terms of these fall-like temperatures all across the upper Midwest and northern plains, 50s and 60s. In fact, 62 in Eau Claire, Black River Falls, Volkfield, 58 in Viroqua, 59 in Preston. And with light winds and also clearing skies, or mostly clear skies for much of the night, that's why temperatures could plummet. Frost advisory from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for Clark, Jackson, Monroe, Juneau, and Adams counties. Temperatures there could drop into the lower to middle 30s. So if you want to keep those sensitive plants alive, either bring them in or cover them up. maybe disconnect the garden hose as well. Let's check those temperatures. Not a problem in La Crosse County. Low to mid 40s here, around 44 in La Crosse, maybe some upper 30s in eastern Vernon County around Hillsborough, but Monroe and Jackson counties 30s for sure there, and up into Clark County as well. Closer to 40 to 42 degrees for lows in Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls. So mostly clear right now, just those high clouds. Now this disturbance out to the west will be our next weather maker for tomorrow and bring a chance for mainly afternoon showers and then into tomorrow night. Just some high and mid-level clouds overnight tonight. Clouds thicken tomorrow morning. Could see some rain showers as we head into the afternoon, kind of in hit and miss fashion, so not everyone's going to see it. Heading into tomorrow evening, a little bit better chance for some rain, hopefully holding off till after high school football games. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And then that kind of moves east into Saturday. Much of Saturday could end up being dry, just a small chance for a few hit and miss showers in a few spots. So for tonight, partly cloudy and chilly. Again, an alert night, if you will, due to that first frost advisory in our northeastern communities. 44 though in La Crosse. 62 tomorrow, cool with increasing clouds. Chance for some afternoon showers and into tomorrow night. Just a small chance for a shower over the weekend. Highs in the upper 60s. Rather windy as another front comes through Sunday and into Monday. Look what it does to our temperatures. Upper 50s to low 60s for highs Tuesday and Wednesday. Might have to watch out for some patchy frost again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. And of course, Oktoberfest starts later next week in La Crosse. Right now, it's looking dry with mid to upper 60s for Thursday and Friday.
All right, so I'm busting out the quarter zips every day then.
Quarter zips already, huh?
Yeah, it's that time. Switching out the closet, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's time to, we had opened our windows overnight for a very short amount of time. Time to close them. Thanks, Bill.
All right.
Coming up in sports, two MVC rivals are going to face off tonight on the volleyball court.
Plus, the Packers ran the ball aplenty against the Bears. Might be a different story this weekend against the Bucks. Rob's next.
CityCam 8 is brought to you by the Board Store. Are new windows in your future? We're a Pro Via Platinum dealer with certified installers. We'll help you find the best style, color, and glass options for your budget.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Add style to your home with a new ceiling fan from Menards. Check out our great selection of Hunter fans. They help save on energy costs and provide year-round comfort. Save today with 11% off all Hunter ceiling fans. Do more than light up a room with Sylvania LED light bulbs. TrueWave reduces blue light, helping you see better and fall asleep easier. All Sylvania LED bulbs are 11% off now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Violent crime up across Wisconsin. Families nervous about their safety. Yet Mandela Barnes called for releasing half of Wisconsin's jailed inmates. That would mean releasing over 10,000 criminals right into our neighborhoods. 10,000 reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
Over the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, the Packers look like two different teams, and a big reason why is because Green Bay's backfield duo got a lot more touches in Sunday's win over Chicago. The big takeaway after week 1 was the number of touches Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon got against the Vikings, but that changed in week 2. The Green and Gold ran 66 plays, 37 of them involved either Jones or Dillon. Number 33 having a big night for the Pack, 15 carries, $132 on the ground, 237 total yards between those two in last week's win over the Bears. But a different opponent awaits in week 3 as the Packers head to Tampa to take on the Bucks. And today, Coach Matt LaFleur with a lot of praise for the team they'll face on Sunday.
We're going to have a great challenge this week. This is as good of a defense as you'll find in the National Football League, from first level to the back level. Just a bunch of Pro Bowlers on all three levels. So it's going to be a great challenge for us.
The Buccaneers come into week 3 ranked 5th in the league in yards allowed. They've got 6 takeaways as well. So we'll see if the Pack have any answers for that on Sunday. Shifting gears to the volleyball court, big MVC clash tonight at Aquinas High School. The Blue Gold squaring off against Holman tonight. The top 2 teams in the conference going at it again. These 2 teams last met back at the end of August in Holman. It was the conference opener for both squads. The Vikings took the first 2 sets. Aquinas, though, storming back. The Blue Golds erasing a 2-set deficit and stunning Holman in 5. It's the Vikings' only conference loss of the year. Should be another fun one tonight. Highlights coming up at 10. Twins looking to avoid getting swept by Kansas City, but the Royals with different plans in this one. No score in the 3rd until Salvador Perez muscles one in a center. Broken bat single gives KC a 1-0 lead. Then in the 4th, Edward Olivares, he sends a screamer in a left, and that gets out in a hurry. Royals extend their lead to 2. Kansas City adding to it in the 5th. Drew Waters at the dish. He's going to get all of this one. Deep drive to right. That ball's way out of here. 3-0 Royals at that point. Kansas City hangs on for the win 4-1. Twins dropped their 4th straight. They've now lost 7 of their last 8. They're 9.5 behind Cleveland in the Central, 9 games behind Seattle for that 3rd wild card spot. So it's all but over now. I mean, there's only 14 games left.
Very unlikely. So
I mean, it just seems like they were in first place for 3/4 of the year. But
I know.
That's what happens in baseball. You go on a tough stretch and you just.
It's kind of the MO of the Twins the last few years, too.
Tough,
a lot
tough
of talent.
week for Minnesota.
Yeah.
But Brewers tonight.
But the Vikings are good, right?
They are, Ken.
We like to
We
think
won
so.
our Super Bowl last weekend. That's all I'm going to say. We'll be right back.
Meet Brad Paff. He never had a job outside of politics. Seriously, he hung around long enough to climb that political ladder. He'll never fix Washington. He won't even try. Me, I spent 26 years fighting for our country. I served as a Navy SEAL, and I know how to get things done. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message. Let's try something different. Let's change the people we're sending to D.C.
There's never been a better time to enjoy quality Flex Steel furniture than right now during the Flex Steel Factory Authorized Sale at Drury's in Fountain. You'll save on the latest casual sofas, chairs that say, "Take me home," stunning sectionals, even luxurious leather sofas and recliners. Every Flex Steel style is included in your choice of over 2,000 designer fabrics and leathers, all at the best prices of the year. Unlimited choices, big savings, and special 12-month interest-free financing. It's happening now at Drury's in Fountain.
Under Governor Evers, hard-working Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
Kind of chilly tonight, 44 in La Crosse, but frost advisories for areas to the north and east. Clark, Jackson, Monroe, Juneau, and Adams from 1 to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
It's like we went from one extreme to the next.
That happens this time
You
of year.
called it, though. You called it. Thanks, everyone.